Hello, everyone. This podcast is going to be a trimmed down version of my part one, part two, breaking attachments to money. And this episode is mainly for all those people who English isn't their first language. When I was listening back to my podcast, I was speaking at supernova speed, and I thought, do you know what? If English isn't someone's first language, and even if it's someone's first language, I was still speaking really fast. People might not understand me. I remember I had a YouTube video and I had some people in my comment section, please can you speak slower, because English is not their first language. So I'm very kind of attuned to that. But the reason why I was speaking so fast is because I had so much to say and I wanted to fit in without making it really, really long. And even though I did it in two parts, and I know I repeat myself a lot, I've got this habit of wanting to drone in the message. So stay tuned if you caught my first podcast, but you couldn't quite understand. Manifest mindset with me. Hello and welcome to Manifest Mindset by Affirm, Form, Attract. Your place to come to when you need tips and advice when manifesting. We are an affirmation channel and you can find all our affirmation videos on YouTube. Okay guys, so here we go. I just listened to my second part and it's a lot slower, so I may not necessarily touch on the topics on there. So basically what I was saying, and this is in a nutshell, discovering my attachment to money. I know I've got attachment to money. There's not much discovery there, but sometimes when you're talking to friends, it kind of brings it back to the forefront and it reminds you, and that's part of a journey that is basically a message saying to me, you still got some work to do in your attachments to money. Even though I've manifested money, I've manifested outcomes, that's all great, but I want it to be less stagnant and more flowing so that I can, everything is not coming at just certain points as when I need. It's a continuous flow. But anywho, so I was having a conversation with my friends. I'm going to do my slightly different order to my first one. So basically, I was on the interweb searching for some inspiration and stuff. And I found myself on Etsy and I found myself on someone's page and they were selling a notepad for £8. And it had 50 pages in there, I think, or 30, something like that. And I sent a screenshot to my friend. I said, I wouldn't pay £8 for this notepad. I said, they probably designed it at home, printed it, and actually made the notepad at home. I can't be 100% sure. I can't remember. Or they might have designed it, sent it off, and got it manufactured. I don't know. But I said, I just don't know if I can spend £8 on this pad. And the reason why I said that is simply because of my lack of finances and what I can and cannot afford. And when you do not have much money, you kind of want to make what you get be value for money. You want to know what you're getting and see what you're getting, quality, quantity, whatever it is. And she says she wouldn't either, and I said, but I don't want to think like that. If I see something and I like it, I just want to go and buy it and be able to buy it. If I physically cannot afford it, that's fine. That's neither here nor there. But I will still be in a mindset, when I'm ready, I'm going to go and purchase whatever it is. And I said, this is a part of having an attachment to money and why people sometimes struggle to manifest money, especially on a consistent basis, whether it's winning the lottery, increasing your job, increasing sales, whatever it is that's to do with financial stuff, getting a good return on your shares and stocks and stuff, is because the attachment that you have, and it goes beyond just wavering when you're affirming, oh yes, I'm rich, I'm amazingly rich, money always comes to me. And then when you're having a bit of a low day, it's, why does life never work out for me? I never have enough money. You see stuff, why don't I have enough money? I can't afford to put this on my credit card. Those are those type of wavering and affirmations that we say to ourselves when we're feeling low. But we can always counteract that. If we catch ourselves, we can stop it and reverse it and say more positive stuff. But it's the attachments to money that we don't really think about, i.e. the example I just gave, the reason why I won't spend this certain amount on a certain product isn't just because that I don't see much value in spending that amount to what I'm getting, but due to what's in my bank account or what I can and cannot afford. And that is if you are someone who's like that, take a look at yourself and see, is that me? Is that my real reason why I would reject things because of that? And if there is, that's something to look at and something to work on being someone that actually, you know what, I would spend that money. Now, I am not saying that if you see, say, for example, say a notepad, and the notepad was £75 for the same amount of pages, I am not saying that you just go and spend that kind of money to for you not to have that attachment or that mindset, because there are limits. Come on, guys, you know, some of us will spend money on shoes, some of us don't. Some of us will spend money on household items, and some of us won't. We all have our little nook where we kind of like where we will spend our money on. And with that, I said, yeah, this is something that I want to definitely work on, because I think it would definitely forward me and help me further along and leapfrog into when I want to manifest stuff, not just money, but just maybe value in general. Now, the other aspect of it was pricing. I do my own thing. I've got things for sale, and I've always done some kind of sale. I've made handmade jewelry, cards. Right now, I've got some affirmations that you can purchase on Bandcamp at the moment. And anyway, as a businesswoman, I've always been someone who wants to kind of, those who don't have much, though, that's my market. And you know, because I know what it's like when you don't have much, you want something, and you know, you plan to get it, and then something comes up and that money has to go there, and you never ever get that thing. And sometimes that thing you want is not even expensive. You don't think it's expensive. Sometimes the money is just not there for whatever reason. And I've thought to myself, it'd be nice to be an advocate, be that kind of person who has a business, obviously depending on the business that is, obviously, and you know, kind of basically take a cut kind of thing. But then thinking more of it, it's like, well, why am I doing that? Is it just to help people? Yeah, part of it is. I generally do. And then the other part of it is maybe because when I've been putting myself in a position over the years, there were times when I couldn't afford certain things, and maybe I'm looking at it like that. So my attachment to money is of my old, you know, of past. And sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes in present, even though my mindset has changed drastically a lot since then about certain things. And maybe sometimes the reason why I want to do that, yes, is to help people, but also is because I know what it's like, and I still have that kind of an attachment to money, which isn't great, because people do, if they want something, they'll afford it. And I suppose part of me had to learn that it's not my responsibility to make sure everybody can afford to buy whatever it is that they need to buy. And I've also learned in the past that when I have done stuff, and I've done stuff really cheap, they're just little stuff, and people still didn't want to pay that price, you know? So, you know, I'm not really helping anybody. And again, by doing that, there's loads of lessons that could be learned when it comes to attachment to money and value. Is that, well, I can always manifest to customers to get my products. You know, you can just manifest, all customers are going to come, my clients are going to come, whatever it is you want to manifest, and focus less on trying to be the savior of the world and help people. And, you know, I can even manifest, that the people usually can't afford it, that money always finds their way for them to afford to get what they need to get. Like, there's so many different types of affirmations you can use, not just for yourself, but for other people as well. And it just reawakens the fact that, wow, you know, my attachment, I kind of knew it was there, that I kind of knew this type of attachment was there. But again, like I said before, it was more of a case of a reawakening and a reminder to really work on that part of my attachment for money. Not the obvious one, like, oh, I don't think I got enough, I can't afford it. These are things you say naturally. When you hear those words come out of your mouth, or you think them, you know that is something that you've got to work on. But it's the ones that are ingrained in different things that you do that fails to get highlighted, and it's just like a blanket over it, because again, you're used to it. Just like you're used to always saying, I can't afford something, I don't have the money. It's your mind automatically goes into these places. So when I did this podcast, I thought, well, if it's happening to me, or it's happened to me, it will happen to other, and it's happening to other people. That their mindset needs to be worked on more. If you can go on a rampage and affirm, and like I said, it can work. You can get that money, but you don't just want to keep affirming on a rampage every time you want something. You want to be in a constant mindset, or at least as constant as you can be, that when you want something, yes, you affirm it. I'm not saying you don't affirm it, but then it's going to come so naturally. It's going to fly off your tongue. Oh gosh, you know what? Yeah, I expect to get £500 now. I expect to get £500 now, or £1,000, or I expect to get 5 brand new clients at the end of the week. I expect to get 100 new sales by the end of the week by new people, and they're gonna love my, like, you know, you can do that. But it's really good to check yourself, check your thought process. When it comes to you spending and not spending, especially the not spending, but why do you not spend? What is the reason why you wouldn't spend your money on certain things? I know, like I explained in my original podcast, is that there's certain things I will spend money on. And I will stretch as far as I can actually physically go. I won't get myself into debt. I won't take out massive loans and say, yeah, don't worry, money will come back to me. Because if my mindset isn't there, and the way then I'm going to be taking it alone, I'm going to be struggling. And then when I struggle, that's going to add more burden. So I don't do that. But I know I will get the best that I can afford at the time. But there's other stuff, like I said, like I mentioned, with this example of for the notepad, I'm just like, I wouldn't do it. But again, is it because I don't have much money? Is it because there's other things I could be like, there's loads of things, but you really want to get to a mindset, oh, I actually like that, and I think it's pretty, or I think it's cute, I think it's nice. I will spend the money, and you will get it. Even if you don't actually physically get it, but in your mind you tell yourself that. So if you are struggling to manifesting money consistently, any type, then check where your mind is going. Check how you view things in life. Check how you look at society, how you look at fashion, makeup, arts, music. Because at some point you might think, oh, I would never spend that money, I would never buy that record, or I would never do this. And is it because you generally just don't like it? Or is it because on some subconscious level it is about the money? Oh, that's why you won't spend that money on the top. That's why, you don't think going to that music venue is worth the money. Like, do you understand? Like, sometimes, yeah, there's a value attached to it. Yes, there are people out there who will try and push the boundaries as much as they can, and something that is just not worth it, they will charge 10 times the amount. We know that, and to me that's fine. I don't feel there's anything wrong with that, because it's just like, just because I'm trying to align with my manifestation for money doesn't mean I need to be silly and just pay out things that I know deep down is just really just not worth it. And I know the value is in the eye of the beholder, and not everybody will see things your way, but there's some things where people will just agree, yeah, they're just trying to make the most out of it. Anyway, guys, I hope that's cleared that up. My second podcast, part 2, is a lot slower, so you should be able to understand, and I kind of touched on it on this one as well, but I didn't want to make this too long, but I just wanted to give you a gist of what I'm saying. And maybe this was a really good exercise for me to when I get excited about a subject and I got a lot to say, to try and condense it. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening, and I shall speak to you soon.